Hello Econ students, this is Mr. Miller. I wanted to go over the final project options with you all. Since I will not be there in the flesh to present these options, I've decided to create a screencast for your benefit. So December 7th and 8th, you all took and aced the EOC, I'm sure. My son will be born on one of those 2 days, and it's Sunday, so I'm not really sure what day that will be. But on the 9th and the 10th, you'll be coming to class wondering, now what? Are we finished for the semester? Where do we go from here? Those of you who have a 90 or above going into the EOC, you actually are finished. Congratulations, you've completed the course and now on to government. Those of us with less than a 90 average will be taking, or I should say completing, a final project as our last summative assessment for the semester. And so you're going to have a few days of class time, and then testing begins. First period final projects will be due on the 15th. Second period, your final projects will be due on December the 16th, which is a Wednesday. So that gives you really just under a week to complete the projects, which is slightly less class time than I've had in the past, but it should be plenty of time because you get to select the option for the final project that best fits your needs. Alright, so the options for the final project are quite vast, and I have 10 suggestions, but if you have an idea that you would like to present for your final project, then I'm open to that idea, and as long as you email me by Friday the 11th and I approve it, then you could do something else that's not on this document, in this document that I'm going to explain to you right now. Alright, so options 1 through 5 are investigative research question type options, which would require 3 sources to support your investigation of one essential question, which I have provided for you in some categories, which I'll show you in just a minute. Or you could create your own essential question if you want to research that. And 3 sources is really easy to do, as long as these are like newspaper or articles or some sort of academic professional source, then you would be good to go on that. And then a 2-page double-spaced paper is one option that you could do. Preparing a very brief, like 2 to 4 minute presentation on the research. So these options 1 through 5 are going to be a lot like what you've done this semester for your everyday econ. So it's kind of like choosing your own topic to investigate and then presenting an everyday econ on that topic, essentially, what the first 5 options are. So let's look at some of those essential questions. The first is, and these are just broad categories that you may be interested in. The first is the economics of entertainment. So you could look at the history of on-demand entertainment, how competition has revolutionized the entertainment industry, or why movie theaters don't allow movie ticket prices to fluctuate with supply and demand. How do state governments entice film companies to come film in their states, and maybe questions related to some of your favorite film producers like Disney. Is there a monopoly that Disney is taking advantage of somehow in some sector of the entertainment industry? The second option is really popular. It's the economics of sports, and there are some suggested essential questions here, but again, you can always just create your own if you'd like. Why do certain professional franchises have more money to spend than other teams? Does an increase in money spent in any team sport improve a team's chance at a championship? So you could take like professional basketball and look back and say like the Lakers are the most winningest team in the NBA in terms of team titles. So why is that? Do they have a larger salary cap, which would be something to investigate, or have they just traditionally paid their players more? Is it because of market size? Are they able to do that? Maybe more broader questions like, are professional sports leagues like cartels, and maybe how they are and how they're not? A really relevant question would be, do new stadiums help the local economy? This is a really pertinent question as the Braves look to relocate to Cobb County. You could investigate that. The third topic, suggested topic from which you could create a question from, would be the impact of a product on the market. So say you're really into Lucky Charms and you want to investigate the production process and the economic impact of the product. This is something that you could really run with in terms of your presentation. You can have a PowerPoint or Prezi and just investigate the impact of a product on the market. And remember, just 3 sources to support your findings, and I'm sure that would be really interesting. Fourth category is marketing's impact on overall consumption. So you can talk about consumerism in America's history. The advertising agencies of the 1950s, 60s, and 70s that start to really revolutionize our consumer culture towards a more, replace it, don't fix it type of consumption that's perpetual and really boost GDP, right, over time. Okay, so the fifth option would be just to create your own research-based essential question. Okay, so, the economic impact of terrorism, or the economic impact of me, being like you yourself. Any question goes as long as I approve it by Friday the 11th. All right, the sixth topic would be to create your own economics game. I've had students in the past who have created board games based on the 3 business types or market structures. And so there's an objective in the game. You can earn points. There's a winner, there's a loser. There are rules that you would type up and create. And maybe it's like a quiz type review game that you'd be creating. Or anything that helps to explain economics topics that we've learned about in class. And there's no rubric for this, so you would just be creating a game and then explaining it for your presentation. And sometimes that's a really fun one to do if you're into gaming. Option 7 is to create the A to Z encyclopedia. This is really kind of a lame option, but if you're looking for a way to kind of quickly get through the final project and you just don't have creative energy or time, then this is one that you could pursue. The only stipulation is you have to stick to one of the 5 major units of study. So fundamental concepts, microeconomics, macroeconomics, international trade, or personal finance. And then you create 26 content terms, one for each letter of the alphabet. And you would include in some kind of booklet the description of the term, maybe some history or background, an example of the term being used. So the definition and then the description or the example. So kind of like, essentially 2 sentences minimum for each word that you've selected. And then you should have some kind of picture or image graph to support the concept if you chose that option. The 8th option is to create a personal budget to use next year. And really sorry I won't be there this week to help you with this, because this is a really great option because it's really relevant to the next year of your life. You could choose an app like Good Budget app that I've shown you all this semester, or any other that helps you to organize your expenses and manage your budget. And this could be real or it could be hypothetical. So you could say, all right, well, I know I want to be, 4 years from now, I want to be a small business owner. Okay, and so you could do some research and interview what your expenses might be. Say you wanted to be a franchisee and have your own Subway or something like that. You could totally create the budget surrounding or based on real or predicted data. Or you can just use the data that you currently have. Like, I've got a job at Dutch Monkey and I'm going to be going to Georgia State next year. So this is what I expect to spend. These are my goals percentage-wise. And you would just create like a budget, which would be like a spreadsheet, and then just be ready to kind of explain your findings and what your budget plan is for the next year during your presentation. Okay, option 9 is to create a work of economic wall art. And if you are gifted or artistic, and you want to create some kind of, it could be a painting, it could be a photograph that helps to illustrate one of the 10 economic principles that we've used during our everyday econ, such as people earning income by helping others. And you had like a really cool black and white photograph of, a barista or something, someone at Starbucks serving coffee, and it was like really artistic looking. And then all you have to do is write a 1-page double space explanation of why this piece of art is illustrating, or how it's illustrating, the economic concept. Okay. Option 10 would be any other project idea that you might have. I've had students who have written songs, or done parody skits about economics. They've written a poem, actually some really good poems through the years. They've written a cartoon. So it just has to be based on some principles of economics. Okay, yeah, I'm going to delete this. This is not relevant. Your presentations will be due on the day of your final exam. Okay, so let me go back to that calendar that we had pulled up. And again, first period is on December 15th. Second period would be on the 16th. And then you have a third period also on that day, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then 7th on the 18th. So no final projects can be presented early. That's the only other rule. You will see on this document, at the top of the document, a rubric, and I'll show you that rubric here in just a second. Some frequently asked questions. Can I present early? No. If I can't decide on a project or method, what will happen? Well, one will be assigned to you when I come back on that Monday, the 14th, or you could just get a 0 on this project if you never selected a topic. And so that would not be good. That could really bring your grade down for the semester. Okay, this is one summative grade. So the rubrics for options 1 through 6, like if you did a research-based question, any option 1 through 6, which was these categories, economics of sports, the product, history, impact, and then personal budget or other project ideas, will be based off this real kind of loose rubric. All right, make sure you have your sources in your presentation. You don't have to have a PowerPoint. Those are optional, but it should be an engaging presentation that's only maximum of 4 minutes long. And then the Econ Encyclopedia, if you did that, you would be your work would be scored using the Econ Encyclopedia rubric. And the content needs to be really good. If you choose to do the encyclopedia, be sure you cite the sources where you're getting the definitions and so on. And this is I don't know why I have that in there. Okay. Yeah. So I hope this was helpful. The screencast. If you have questions about what your final project may be, please feel free to email me and ask, or speak to Mr. Sloat or Mr. Acock, who are also assigning this this project assignment for the final project. All right, good luck. Bye.